Are you interested in making Christian films, or you are seeking to promote the gospel through films? Then this video is for you. My name is Emmanuel Ochiri-Mensah, a Ghanaian film producer who has been in the movie industry for almost 10 years, and now it pleases the Lord that I make movies to project the gospel. So I'm into Christian filmmaking, and I'm the producer and director for all the movies you see on Christian Film Hub GH YouTube channel. If you have not been on the YouTube channel and you are watching me on Facebook, please visit my channel on YouTube. The name is Christian Film Hub GH, and in this video I'm going to advise you as to how to go about your Christian film ministry. I am an editor, and I have been editing all the movies I have produced. I can count about 13 or so of them, and I am here to advise you, that new Christian filmmaker or film producer, as an editor. You see, when we get the urge to make Christian films, we get the urge to put out the gospel through filmmaking. You see that we get on fire. When the producer is on fire like that and you advise them, they don't usually hear. But it is good to have that faith. It is good to think positive and big, but it is also good to think clear. That is why when God was sharing the giftings in the church, he made some apostles, some preachers, and some teachers. So I always say that there is a way you must always find to do things, and you get to know the way by learning from the teachers. So don't ignore knowledge in film making. When young Christian filmmakers are eager to make Christian movies, they ignore a lot of details and a lot of things that go into the filmmaking. And one area that they usually ignore and realize it is late is post-production. When they want to make the films or the movies, they are eager to get the best cameras which will give them good quality. They are eager to get the actors. They are eager to get the cameramen, welfare, costume, makeup, set design, everything. And by the time they go through all this process and spend money and they get to editing, then it hits them hard. The reality on the ground is that in the film ministry, editing is not free. I said in my previous video, the difference between industry and ministry is that in ministry, you only put in money that you can offer to God without expecting monetary returns or even profits. The returns we look up to when we are investing in Christian film ministry is the souls, the number of souls that our movies will touch and win for God. We use our films to spike prayer life in the viewers. And if this is not your motivation and you are expecting monetary returns, you will be surprised and you will be disappointed as well. And so when you embark on a Christian film production journey, you can get actors who will act in your film as ministry. They will act for free. That is their way of supporting their ministry, or that is their own way of serving in the ministry. You will get people who may even come with their cameras to come and shoot for you for free. That is also their ministry, to serve God with their talent and their skills. You may get people who will even support your welfare. If you are in a church or you are producing for a church, the church members can support you with foodstuffs, money to take care of welfare. But when it gets to post-production, it is expensive. And this is what most Christian film producers don't realize, because the editor will have to buy light to power the machines to do the editing. For you to get the best of the editing, a feature film of about 90 minutes can last about a month or two at the editing studio if the editor is supposed to work every day on the project. So every day he's going to turn on his computer and it is going to consume his light for between 1 month and 2 months. He can't do this for free because he's not getting the light for free. Besides that, editing machines are expensive. Now, everybody is seeking to get good quality content out there, and that is the way we must go as Christian film producers. We must be competitive. Our content must be attractive to glorify God, and that calls for good quality productions. And when you produce quality films, then you need strong computers to process the footages. And somebody who has invested in such a studio to build the studio to handle huge and heavy files, and you go and you want him to work for free, it doesn't happen. And as I said, it's not like they don't want to support. They have put in a lot of money to keep the studio running. Another thing that most Christian film producers ignore is storage space. So many times I hear Christian film producers complaining that the editor offered to support me and edit my content for me, but eventually I never saw the finished work, and he also told me he lost the footages. The files got corrupted or something happened to the files. So in essence, they end up losing everything about the project. How could this happen? That is the main reason for these videos, to equip you with basic knowledge of production. Once you decide to be a Christian filmmaker or a producer, one thing you should get is hard drive, external or whichever of them. Get a hard drive which can contain all your footages. So when you give the raw footage to the editor, you also have your own as a backup. If the editor fails you, if the editor disappoints you, you still have your raw footages. There are certain things you cannot overlook or take for granted. One of them is the storage space. The editor must invest in getting storage space, that is to invest in hard drives, because it is not only your work that he is going to edit. He has other people's jobs on his machine which are occupying spaces. So the editor must invest in storage space so that when you bring your footages for him to edit, he will get space to copy your footages on. And another thing to talk about is the number of time the editor spends working on your project. When the actors come and you have a very good schedule, some of them can spend 2 days on set and they are done. They can go while others stay to continue their work. Some can even come in the morning, by afternoon they have finished shooting their scenes. They can leave. Others can come in the evening, work throughout the night. By morning they are done. They can go. They don't really spend much time on set. And even when you are shooting, you consider their work schedules. Some of them will say, okay, I can only make time during the weekends, because from Monday to Friday, they go to their jobs. Some are bankers, some are teachers, they work elsewhere. And so they do the acting as ministry. But the editor is a full-time editor. That is the only job he does. And he is going to spend about a month or 2 editing your film project. Christian film minister. Such a person cannot work like this and you say God bless you because it is a ministry. No. You must get a budget for the editor. That is why I always say that God has given us wisdom. Even with myself that edits my own movies, I know I still have other jobs to do. I produce social media content for companies to advertise. I produce radio jingles. I produce TV adverts. I produce event videos, wedding, funerals, and others. Sometimes I have to meet clients, sometimes I have to prepare budgets and all that for clients, and I can't spend all my time editing my Christian films. So looking at my schedule and the available resources, I found out that I can produce short films for now. I can't go into feature films of about 90 minutes. I can now produce short films. Please, it is ministry. It's good to have faith. It's good to think positive, but let's also think clear. You are starting, you don't have the experience, you don't have the expertise, and you are starting with series, a huge project. How do you go about this? So most often they start their production ministry with series, and they never see the end of the project, and then they perish out of the industry. They even perish before their first project is over. I don't want to be the only fish in the soup. That is why I am offering this advice for free. If you are watching me on Facebook, do like my page, and if you are watching me on YouTube, subscribe to this page, because I have a lot coming your way. In my next video, I will advise Christian film actors who want to serve the Lord in the film ministry. I will advise you as a director, and I know it will help us all grow together in this ministry. God be with you.